Georgia lawmakers one step closer to changing our state flower here in Georgia. Senators passing a bill to replace the Cherokee rose, which is not native to Georgia and is actually invasive. Instead, they want to give the designation to the sweetbay magnolia, which is both native to Georgia and serves as a host plant for Georgia's state butterfly. The Cherokee rose has been the state flower since 1916.